Dímelo, mi gente, Marco here again, my video, and today we're going to be talking about why Cardano is finally going to zero. I'm kidding. We're going to be talking about all the drama that happened at Cardano over the weekend. It looks like a developer, some say it's a kid, some say it's a technical expert developer, looked like it found a bug from 2022 and kind of exploited the Cardano system. Cardano then forked. A lot of people are spreading misinformation saying that, oh, the network was down, everything, this and that. It looks like the network just slowed down a little bit, but it still kept producing blocks just at a slower rate. So we're going to be talking all of that. We're going to be talking about as well as how much Cardano is going to be worth into the future and if it's a valid and true investment. Anyways, this all started when I saw, at least this is the time I saw it, this WAP.eth, he said Cardano Mainnet is down and nobody has noticed it yet because no one uses it. And I just want to talk about the transactions that are happening on Cardano and why I think Cardano was able to kind of find this bug right away and basically erase it from the whole network. So if you take a look here, Cardano on the day of the impact, let me just do this week. It only did 30,000 transactions that day, coming up from 33,000. Today it's, well, not today, 2 days ago it was only 24,000. So really not much happening on the network if we are being honest with ourselves, as well as there's no fees being collected, really no anything, right? On some days you collect $3,000 in fee, $5,000 in fees, right? So really not much happening. I think this is one of the main big part or why Cardano was able to, you know, kind of fix this right away, because they're not doing millions and millions and millions of transactions, you know, during the day. If we take a look here, let's just look at the overview, right? Daily active users, it's only about 20,000 chain transactions, about 24,000 the past 24 hours. So it is totally valid locked. It is a lot. It is 182 million, which I don't know why, whatever reason they have that, but 3.2 thousand in chain fees. So really not much happening on the network. So what happened is apparently this person, Homer J, which they say is a kid. So if it is a kid, I'm sorry. Some others say he's like a more technical, well-experienced person. I really don't know who he is. Obviously crypto, the main thing is anonymity and privacy. So I want to respect his privacy. So it says, sorry, I know the word isn't enough given the impact of my actions. Cardano folks, it was me who endangered the network with my careless actions yesterday evening. It started off as a let's see if I can reproduce the bad transaction, personal challenge, and then I was dumb enough to rely on AI instructions on how to block all traffic in and out of my Linux server without properly testing it on the testnet first, and then watch it in horror as the last block time on Explorers froze. I know it is just some words on the screen, but I felt awful as soon as I realized the scale of what I've caused. I know there's nothing I can do to make up for the pain stress I've caused over the past X hours. Difficult to quantify the negligence on my behalf. I'm sorry, I truly am. I did not have evil intentions in my heart. And then, yeah, he just keeps on going. He's basically asking for forgiveness, right? And then if we take a look here, Charles Hoskinson, the founder or one of the founders of Cardano, he says Cardano works so fast that we forked, fixed, and caught the guy in one day. He was quite active in the fake Fred Discord. I don't know if that's a Discord that Cardano people, kind of have. It was absolutely personal, and now he's trying to back it up because he knows that FBI is already involved. So this is where I don't agree with what they're doing. They're involving the FBI for whatever reason. Obviously, code is law. Some say it isn't. Some say whatever it may be. Yeah, the fact that someone could vibe code and destroy or do so much damage to a lot of people really speaks more on the network, right? Obviously, it worked fast and fixed it, and it looks like not that many people were, affected, but obviously not a lot of people are using Cardano. So let's just look at the facts versus myth that Charles kind of posted. He says, let me just put this a little bit bigger. I don't know if, I think you can see it better now. So the first myth is that Cardano went down. No, while users experienced some disruption, this was a slowdown due to the temporary chain split. Cardano continued producing blocks and maintain its integrity. So this isn't the first time that this happens, right? Bitcoin, I think it happened in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. So, chains and blockchains go down Not all the time, obviously. I don't want to say all the time, but it's still in development. It's still, a work in progress. So I'm not going to fault Cardano too much for that. The second one is that Cardano was hacked. This is the fact. The core protocol consensus and cryptography were not compromised. This was an edge case in the node implementation. This was funny. Nobody uses Cardano, so nobody noticed. And I will say, people do use Cardano, but it's not like there were millions and millions and millions of transactions, happening right then and there, right? If millions and millions of transactions were happening, it would have really been intriguing. But it's like who say, he say, it could have been, should have been, whatever, right? The fact of the matter is that they responded really quickly. So SPOs, engineers, exchange wallets, and explorers reacted in real time, which is why the issue was contained so quickly. So I will say credit where credit is due. They did find it quickly. An AI using teenager brought the network down. So this is what I was talking about. A technically skilled individual crafted and submitted the transactions after it was observed on the preview testnet. Relevant authorities and law enforcement are being notified. So let's see what ultimately happens, right? If the FBI, kind of does take action, right? It would be scary, especially for developers that, are working on these blockchains. And fifth, someone centrally rolled back the chain. Independent SPOs, exchanges, and relays voluntarily upgraded the fixed node version, allowing the healthy chain to outweigh the invalid one through normal Ouroboros consensus, not central control. So they're the facts. You could take that with a grain of salt. Believe what you want to believe. This is also something from Mert, obviously Solana Maxi, and he works with Solana. And right now he's a Zcash Maxi, but whatever. He says Cardano was taken down by a kid, accidentally vibecoding to the point where Charles called it FBI him, and is still trading above zero. In fact, it's still in the top 100. Incredible. Yeah, in my opinion, we deserve at least another 5x drawdown. Obviously, he's a really big troll. But this is what, Charles had to say. There was a preeminent attack from a disgruntled SPO who spent months in the fake Fred Discord actively looking at ways to harm the brand and reputation of IOG. And he targeted my personal pool, and it resulted in disruption of the entire Cardano network. Every single user was impacted. SPOs lose block rewards. There could be double spends. DeFi was disrupted. It will take weeks to clean this mess up, even longer for the brand and reputation damage to be repaired. I will say though, really the brand reputation and damage, no one, in my opinion, has been talking about it so much. There wasn't any coverage whatsoever from major people, but it is what it is. And then he apologized because the ITN pool in my video earlier linked him, and he knew a criminal investigation has already been launched. So yeah, really unfortunate, right, for everyone involved, especially my problem is, with the users, right? The users lost money. I saw someone that was, I forgot how much money it was, but it was like maybe a $40,000 trade or whatever that, he couldn't cash out. It ended up being like a couple of $1,000s, but still, money is money. So it is really unfortunate for the users and the people that, are kind of, invested in Cardano. It really sucks. Next, Toli, the founder of Solana, he says, I'm going to go out on a limb and actually say this is pretty cool. Nakamoto style consensus without proof of work is extremely hard to build. The protocol function as a sign in the presence of bugs. So yeah, like I've been saying, this is really impressive from the Cardano side, at least like all the technology and everything that, happened. The fact that they were able to kind of fix this, really, really fast, honestly speaks volume, and it has to be said. And then last but not least, I want to take both sides of this, right? I don't want to just take one side of it, two sides of it. I want to give all the facts. This person, Effective Fool, he says, just submitted my resignation letter. I messed up pen testing in a major way once. I've seen my colleagues do the same. I didn't realize there was a risk of getting raided by the authorities because of that, plus saying mean things on the internet. If the Cardano community wants me to continue securing the computational layer, is gonna need to be compensated me handsomely for the risk I had no idea I was taking on. For context, most vulnerabilities in the computational layer were either directly discovered by me or originated from my ideas. And then Charles says, this is complete BS and ridiculous. So yeah, I don't know where you kind of are in this whole argument. Honestly, I'm on the side that, honestly, in my opinion, not that many people kind of use Cardano, right? So it is good that they found this really, really fast and we're able to fix it. But honestly, I don't see Cardano going, anywhere really in the next couple of years. Cardano is still in the top 10, as you can see, with that barely little users and that like basically almost zero to no revenue, right? $50,000 for $14 billion market cap, almost a $20 billion market cap and fully diluted valuation. To me, seems incredible, right? It's still down 86% from the all-time high, which the all-time high was 4 years ago, people, right? 4 years ago. It's not even. We saw a lot of coins pass all-time highs. BNB, Solana, Ethereum reached all-time highs, and Cardano not doing it. Honestly, is really messed up. In my opinion, though, Cardano rate is 42 cents right now. It could get to like 24, 25. Maybe it stays in this range and goes up because, as you can see, like with Cardano or XRP is another coin that, it's like a little cult. XRP did it reach all-time high? No, it didn't reach all-time high, but it was really close to kind of breaking its all-time high. So yeah, XRP and Cardano, I don't know. These are coins that probably have such a big hold and they have like stop losses and like buy buttons or something that it's just going to go up. Me personally, this is not something I would invest in, but I will say though, if you are in the Cardano ecosystem, if you are building on there, if you are, heavily involved and you are using Cardano, then yeah, sure, go ahead, invest in it. I'm not going to say it's going to be a bad investment. I'm just saying by the metrics and everything that, kind of has been happening, I personally wouldn't do it, but intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for all the recent subscribers. Let's reach 1,500 before the end of the year. Thank you so much for watching, as always, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.